You replay conversations in your head because something inside you refuses to accept surface level explanations. And while you might think it's anxiety or self criticism, what's really happening is your brain running a quiet analysis in the background, scanning tone, intentions, micro expressions, and emotional signals that most people never even notice. And the reason it feels so heavy is simply because you care more deeply than you ever admit out loud. Your mind isn't stuck, it's processing. Psychology says that people who revisit conversations are often high in metacognition, meaning you think about your own thinking, and instead of letting words pass through you, you evaluate them, filter them, and decode them with more depth than average minds naturally do. Your brain replays moments because it's trying to stabilize your emotional reality. And research shows that people with strong reflective tendencies often have more active prefrontal regions responsible for analyzing social cues. So when you rewind a conversation, it's not weakness. It's your brain checking for patterns, inconsistencies, and deeper meanings. That sudden moment where you're walking home and a sentence finally clicks is your mind finishing a silent computation that began hours earlier. It's emotional pattern recognition, and it's actually a cognitive strength. Your mind also does this because your social perception system is highly sensitive. Psychology calls this hyperattunement, a trait commonly seen in introverts, deep thinkers, and individuals with heightened empathy. You don't just hear words, you absorb them. You feel the shifts in energy, the pauses between sentences, the unspoken emotions hanging in the air. Later, when you replay the conversation, you're not obsessing, but piecing together emotional data your brain collected. This is why you often understand people more deeply after the moment has passed, because your brain evaluates subtle cues long after the interaction ends. Another reason you replay conversations is cognitive perfectionism, but not in the way people assume. It's not about wanting to be flawless. It's about wanting clarity. You want to know whether you handle something with integrity, whether your words match your values, whether you misread something or unintentionally hurt someone. Research shows that people who engage in this type of self-review often have higher emotional intelligence because they connect their behavior with their internal standards. You're not being hard on yourself. You're maintaining alignment. Sometimes your brain replays things because it's trying to learn. Neuroscience explains this as memory reconsolidation, where your mind updates what it already knows by revisiting it. When you say to yourself, I should have said this instead, that's your brain preparing faster responses for future situations, improving your social agility over time. What feels like rumination is often subconscious training, and psychology says deep thinkers refine their emotional and verbal skills this exact way. And finally, you replay conversations because your emotions echo. When something impacts you, even slightly, your mind holds onto it. This isn't hypersensitivity, it's emotional depth. You process slower because you process more. That's not anxiety, that's intelligence. You're not broken for thinking this way. You're someone whose mind pays attention, remembers details, and learns from them. And while it may feel heavy sometimes, that heaviness is simply the weight of awareness. Your brain isn't punishing you, it's protecting you, teaching you, and guiding you toward better decisions next time. If this felt accurate, subscribe because I make videos that explain the things you do but never knew how to describe, and they'll help you understand your brain with clarity and compassion.